Well, you can see I'm at the beach, Emerald Isle, North Carolina, and I just took a walk down the beach and was kind of blown away by what I found. Yeah, we're gonna go down here into the shade and I'll show you. So what I found was garbage. Let's take a look at what's in this sack. Look at this. And it's all blowing away. I have more work to do. But yeah, all of this from 30 minutes of walking along the beach. And let's just take a look and break down what's in here. So I've sorted the bag of garbage, and this is what I have found. These are all the items that I picked up on the beach in a 30-minute time period, just walking around on the beach and in front of my beach house where I'm staying. I'm renting, actually. It's not my beach house. But anyway, the point being here is take a look. What is the number one component that we see of this bag of garbage? Well, it's plastic. So many different kinds of plastic. Some of these are very old plastics. This blue one here and some of the smaller pieces in here, broken up and degraded. They could have been tossed into the ocean or into the area or into the street many hundreds of miles away and then washed here 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago. And some of these are much more recent, as you can tell. This bottle of water, there's still water in it. And some of these wrappers haven't even been bleached by the sun, so they're very fresh. And of course, drinking straws, a glow stick, a spoon. You get the idea. And then we have styrofoam. Some of this is really old styrofoam, mostly from fishing containers and coolers and such. Paper. Yeah, a pair of panties, apparently. And what appears to either be, I'm not sure if it's dog hair or rope. I think it's actually rope that's just somewhat degraded. At first I thought it was a dreadlock. And then of course cigarette butts and food. Cigarette butts are one of my big pet peeves because while these other things, aside from the plastic, will degrade pretty quick, the plastic and the styrofoam don't degrade that very fast at all, but these cigarette butts, they're not only degradable very slowly, but they are very toxic to wildlife from the nicotine and thousands of other chemicals that cigarette companies put in their product to make them incredibly addictive, toxic, and basically just a cancer stick. That's what I call them. And then people are careless enough to, not only careless enough to pollute their own body, but then they just carelessly toss them into the sand as if the beach is their ashtray. Well, people, it's not. And it is not your garbage dump either. Now, look at this pile of food. Okay, this probably was an innocent mistake by some children who spilled their goldfish. I can understand that. But you would think their parents, who were probably nearby, would have cleaned it up. And then there's orange peel, and this looks like a fruit roll-up of some kind, peanuts. Most of these would degrade or be eaten by wildlife, but that doesn't make it right, because this is not a natural food, it's processed food. Aside from the orange peels and the nuts, it's processed food which is harmful to wildlife. Pieces of a house. This looks like obviously shingle material, and some type of dowel with metal sticking out of it. I'm not sure what that's from. And then this little hair band to hold back a girl or guy's hair, a human being's hair, doesn't matter who. This could easily be lost while swimming, but the problem here is, imagine if this got around you and you were a small animal like a crab or a fish. It could entrap you and kill you. And one piece of glass. I'm kind of surprised. I thought I would have found more. So that's a good sign that people at least aren't leaving their broken glass on the beach. But the sad thing here is all of this garbage was found within visual distance of several trash cans. So the people who littered could have easily put their garbage in a trash can, but instead they chose to just shove it into the sand. Now, of course, some of this could have been thrown off of boats, most likely. Some of it could have blown from the road nearby. But the cigarette butts, especially, that you could tell they had been buried in the sand and then either unearthed by the wind or the wave action. Many of them were probably thrown overboard from boats. And then, of course, fishermen, careless fishermen who fish but don't care for the environment that they fish from, leaving their fishing equipment out where it can be destroyed by nature and washed around and cause all kinds of harm. The panties, I have no idea, but I can guess. So I'm not going to go any farther with that one. This is appalling to me that people will come to the beach to get away from it all, so to speak, and then they just bring their garbage with them and litter everywhere they go. Now, this is not everybody. It's most likely a small number of people that do this, that don't care about the environment that supports them, that supports their very lives, and they choose to litter wherever they go. So come on, people, have some respect for the earth and clean up your mess. Don't leave a mess. Leave no trace, you know. And if you do see garbage left by other people, pick it up. Do your part. You know, it's been shown that if there is garbage in an area, people are more apt to litter. But if there's not, then they're more apt to leave it the way they found it. So let's try to do a little bit better. And let's try to leave the areas we visit better than we found them. Teach your kids that as well. Teach your kids to not pollute. And teach your kids to have respect for the earth that gives them life.